How's everybody? My name is Rinzler here, back again for another video, and welcome back to my KBW Kids Backyard Wrestling Career Series. Finally, I'm coming back to making career videos again. It's been a while. My last career video was for the Renegades. Make sure to watch all of my KBW videos, career or not. And today, I'm marking my return to the KBW Career Series by talking about the Bulldozer, a personal favorite of mine who I always felt was properly utilized, but at the same time underrated, if that makes any sense. So without further ado, let's talk about the Bulldozer. The Bulldozer first debuted for KBW in Season 2 as AK-47's protege. He was brought in to even the odds against Cage and Nick Frazier, who had been regularly attacking AK all season long at this point. Bulldozer and AK won their debut match as a tag team by defeating the Ultimate Underdogs, D-Man and Maxilla. However, Bulldozer and AK's partnership wouldn't last too long. A Royal Rumble match would be held to determine the inaugural KBW World Heavyweight Champion. During the match, Bulldozer and AK worked together to eliminate Nick Frazier, and it seemed like they were going to do the same thing for Cage, but instead, Bulldozer eliminated AK, and then Cage willingly eliminated himself, allowing Bulldozer to win the match and become the first world champion. It would be soon explained that Cage, Bulldozer, and Nick Frazier had formed an alliance together known as Execution, which began to terrorize the company together, beating down AK-47 at every turn. As I mentioned in my ranking of all the KBW World Champions, Bulldozer's reign as champion was unfortunately pretty bland. He would lose the title in his first defense against AK-47 despite attempts at interference by Execution. However, Bulldozer's foot was on the springs of the trampoline during the final pinfall, which in KBW counts as a rope break, so the title was vacated and put on the line in an I Quit match, which Bulldozer ultimately lost. Bulldozer would then be shuffled down the card a bit, but not too far, as he would compete in KBW's first pay-per-view, Bloodthirsty, in a Money in the Bank ladder match. During the match, Bulldozer damn near broke his neck when the Beast hit him with the runaway train and he landed right on his head outside the ring, but luckily he wouldn't be injured. However, Bulldozer would still lose the match to D-Man. Enraged, Bulldozer would attack everyone after the match and would dump the trampoline onto everybody. This match has tragically been deleted from YouTube for unknown reasons. In Season 3's premiere episode, Bulldozer would challenge D-Man to a singles match with his Money in the Bank contract on the line, which D-Man would only accept after Bulldozer agreed to let countouts and disqualifications be turned on. However, D-Man would use this to his advantage by retaining his contract via disqualification when he hit Bulldozer with his briefcase. An outraged Bulldozer would attempt to once again dump the trampoline onto D-Man, but luckily Bomb Kid would prevent this from happening, and would then go on to challenge Bulldozer to a Falls Count Anywhere match with his own mask and career on the line against Bulldozer's undefeated streak. If you're wondering how Bulldozer had an undefeated streak despite losing many times up to this point, it was because Bulldozer had yet to lose a match via pinfall or submission. However, this match against Bomb Kid would be halted as the Renegade Invasion storyline would begin, and Bulldozer would be the first on-screen victim of a Renegade assault. The following week, Bulldozer challenged Renegade members Double T and TW to a 2-on-1 handicap match, which Bulldozer lost when all the other Renegades just interfered and attacked Bulldozer. It was around this time that it would be revealed Nick Frazier wouldn't be returning to action following the Renegade's assault, and so Cage quickly replaced him with a rookie named Jacob Storm. Despite Cage promising that this new and improved incarnation of Execution would deal with the Renegades no problem, it was fairly obvious that Bulldozer and Jacob Storm really didn't click with each other. Bulldozer and Cage would begin to argue with one another about Storm's inclusion in the group. It was easy to sympathize with the Bulldozer during this time, since he considered Nick Frazier like a brother, and Cage basically replaced his brother with a guy he hated in very little time at all. Bulldozer would finally have his Falls Count Anywhere match with Bomb Kid, which Bomb Kid would win, thus officially ending Bulldozer's undefeated streak in the process. This match absolutely delivered in every sense of the word, and is one of the best non-Cage AK-47 matches in KBW history, in my opinion. Jacob Storm would arrive after the match, and the pair would beat down the Bomb Kid together after the match. So AK-47, who was doing guest commentary, would show up in the ring to even the odds. The following week, Bulldozer and Jacob Storm would face AK and Bomb Kid in a tag team match, during which CJ attacked Jacob Storm, and so Storm ran off to deal with him, leaving Bulldozer to lose to AK and Bomb Kid. Bulldozer was unaware of CJ's presence during the match, and became very angry at Jacob Storm for seemingly abandoning him. The following week, Cage forced Bulldozer and Storm to team up together in a triple threat tag team match to determine the first ever tag team champions. Bulldozer had the match in Execution's favor, but when Storm tagged himself in, a still upset Bulldozer would walk out on Jacob Storm, allowing him to be quickly overwhelmed and the ferocious tag team to win the match instead. Bulldozer would soon after appear on the KBW talk show hosted by AK-47, where he explained his reasoning for abandoning Jacob Storm, but refused to officially acknowledge his hatred of him, only claiming that he and Cage, not Jacob Storm, were a tightly knit unit and that he really missed Nick Frazier. It was in this interview that Bulldozer's natural likability would shine through his scary monster facade. AK would outright ask why Bulldozer betrayed him in the Royal Rumble, and Bulldozer would just start snickering, and AK couldn't help breaking character to laugh at himself. I always wish that we would have seen more of this Bulldozer in KBW, the one that was just kind of naturally funny, but alas, it is what it is. Bulldozer would soon compete in the second Royal Rumble match, which he would promise to win, but during the match he would deliberately eliminate Jacob Storm. Later on in the match, however, Jacob Storm himself would arrive to eliminate the Bulldozer. He would then team up with Cage to face the Renegades in the tag team match, which they won via disqualification. But then Jacob Storm would try to save Execution from a Renegade assault and accidentally hit Cage with a steel chair, thus furthering Bulldozer's hatred of Jacob Storm. After defeating AK-47 in a sink-or-swim match, Bulldozer would be given Cage's automatic rematch clause for the Undisputed title at Renegade Revolution in a triple threat match against the Beast and Pac-Man. Bulldozer had the match won, but then he would pull Pac-Man to Beast's prone body, allowing him to retain the championship. Bulldozer would after explain that Pac-Man could keep his title because he felt the Undisputed title wasn't worth his time. Despite this, Cage would soon after force Bulldozer to face Pac-Man again for the title, this time with Bulldozer winning. However, immediately afterwards, Bulldozer would reaffirm that he doesn't think the Undisputed title is a title worth fighting for, and would promptly throw the title on the ground, much to Cage's shock and horror. Bulldozer would then qualify for Team KBW by defeating his old nemesis, the Bomber Kid, in what many consider to be the absolute best non-Cage AK-47 match in the company's history. Seriously, you should check this match out. It really was that good. At All or Nothing, Bulldozer would be the first member of his team eliminated after they all dogpiled him, and his team would ultimately go on to lose when AK-47 turned heel and became the new leader of the Renegades. Bulldozer and Jacob Storm would come out to save Cage from a Renegade assault, but then Bulldozer would attack Storm and Cage, signifying the end of his time in Execution for good. Bulldozer would soon after lose his Undisputed title to Jacob Storm, but he didn't care about that title anyway, so it didn't matter too much to him. Bulldozer would then face Cage in a one-on-one match for the very first time to determine the number one contender for AK's world title, which ended in a draw, meaning that the match would become a triple threat for the World Heavyweight Championship at Blood, Sweat, and Tears, which Bulldozer would end up losing when AK retained the title. Bulldozer then began a new dream feud against the returning Paul Wall in Season 4. The pair would face off in an arm wrestling contest, which Bulldozer hilariously cheated to win by spitting water in his face. I always found this moment to be particularly funny because even though it happened right in front of the referee still awarded the victory to Bulldozer and basically acted as though the water thing never happened. They would then face off in a really underrated last man standing match at Bloodthirsty 2, which ended in a draw when the trampoline fell on top of them both. Bulldozer would then appear very sporadically throughout the rest of the season, but wouldn't actually wrestle in any more matches before KBW officially closed its doors in 2016, due to the wrestlers becoming too old to be labeled kids anymore. Bulldozer would make a KBW comeback, however, in 2017, when he accepted AK-47's first Milestone Open Challenge, which he surprisingly won. But he hasn't appeared since then. KBW has announced plans to do a Season 6, and one can only hope that Bulldozer will be present for that season. He was a hell of a good performer for a guy of his size, and while he debuted kind of awkwardly in my opinion, he really grew in his confidence, and it's a shame that he was never given a proper face run or a second title reign because he really improved during his time in the company from a bland giant to an unstoppable and unpredictable badass. Bulldozer really had it all. He had the size, he had the legitimacy, he had the look, and he had the comedic timing to occasionally be funny, but also extremely threatening. He really was the total package, and in my opinion, it's a damn shame that he never got to reach bigger heights during his time in KBW, as he was one of their most recognizable faces, despite not being in the main event scene all that often. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, remember to give it a thumbs up, share this video with all of your friends and all of your various social media accounts. ring that notification bell, and let me know in the comments down below if you enjoyed this video or not, and tell me what I could do to improve. And I will see all you dudes and chicks in the next video.